Have you ever thought what it would be like to need an organ donation to survive? Thousands of people throughout the world have already received organ transplants and are living life to the fullest. On the other hand, thousands of people have died before they were able to receive an organ, and thousands more are hoping they will someday receive an organ. This persuasive speech is going to tell you a little bit about organ donation, reasons to become a donor, and how to become a donor. What is organ donation? Organ donation is the removal of the tissues of the human body from one person who is usually deceased for the purpose of transplanting. People of all ages may be organ donors. Without organ donors, people have designated their consent to donate vital organs after death. Nothing can be done for patients whose hopes lie in the hands of others whom they may never meet. According to the Mayo Clinic, which is the largest transplant center in the country and the leader in transplant research, over 100,000 people are on the waiting list to receive an organ. This number is rising faster than the number of available donors. Each month, the number of people on the waiting list grows by approximately 300 people. On the bright side, 77 people receive an organ transplant each day, which prolongs their lives by years. On the other hand, 19 people die each day waiting for transplants that can't take place because of the shortage of donated organs. Now that a few facts about organ donation have been covered, time to move on to the reasons for becoming a donor. One of the biggest reasons you should consider being an organ donor is that even though you're only one person, you can save multiple lives with your organs. Think of it as a circle of life kind of thing. You lose your life, but in doing so, you save multiple lives. The concern that some people have about being an organ donor is the appearance of your body after the procedure. There's no need to worry about that. If you're an organ donor, you are fully able to have an open casket funeral. Being a donor will not change your body's appearance after death in any way, besides the initial procedure at the hospital. Another reason you should become an organ donor is to help provide some consolation to friends and family who you leave behind. Studies have shown that if you're an organ donor, it eases the mourning process for most of the families who are left behind after a loved one dies. So being a donor not only helps strangers who would die without an organ, but it also helps those who are closest to you. Financial concerns are also shy some people away from being organ donors. This is no reason to not be a donor. All the expenses for organ donation are paid for by whichever organ donation program you pick to give away your organs. Age and poor health do not eliminate your chances to be an eligible organ donor. Many people think that if they were a smoker or drank all the time, they will not be able to give an organ. This, however, is not true. Yes, if you are a smoker or drinker, your liver and lungs may be unusable, but them aren't the only things you can give up for transplantation. You could have a perfect pair of eyes, kidneys, and even digestive organs that you could donate. At the time of death, a team of professionals will decide which organs from a deceased person are eligible for donation. Knowing this, everyone should be an organ donor, no matter your health, because chances are you will have at least one organ that could help save someone's life. One thing many people don't realize is that over 1,500 of the people that are waiting to receive an organ are children. Over half these children will die before an organ becomes available. By donating your organs when you die, you can save multiple children's lives at no cost to yourself. Even though I've already mentioned that you can save multiple lives by donating your organs, here's a little more information on that. By becoming an organ donor, you could potentially save up to 40 lives through organ and tissue donation. Since many people in the world would be willing to sacrifice their lives while they are living, you should be able to donate your organs after you are dead to save that many lives. If you choose to be an organ donor, does that mean doctors won't work as hard to save your life in the hospital? No. Doctors will work just as hard to save your life if you're an organ donor. Typically, the doctor treating you is going to be a specialist in the area in which you require treatment, and in most situations, the doctor will have absolutely nothing to do with the organ transplant and probably has no interest at all in it. The doctor also may not even know that you are a registered organ donor. You also don't need to worry about your organs harvested prematurely. Hospital officials must speak with your family members before they are able to harvest your organs. So if you choose to be a donor, make sure you're on good terms with your family members. To bring all the reasons together, organ donation saves lives. There are really hardly any reasons not to become an organ donor. You can't argue for saving someone's life when you can do it at pretty much no cost to yourself. Everyone should choose to become a donor, despite any fears you have. This can ensure that you don't die in vain. Rather, your death will provide life for someone else who would otherwise die. Organ donation can give you a sort of immortality, allowing you to live on in the lives that you save. Becoming an organ donor is a pretty easy and unselfish decision to make. Many think the process is hard, but actually it's easier than they think. There are various ways to be a donor. You can be a live organ donor, where you can donate kidney, tissue, or blood, amongst other things, or you can be a post-mortem donor that will allow you to donate all your organs once you pass away. First way to express your interest in being a donor is through donor registry. Although this is not available in all states, many have this option. You can find registry information on the government's organ donor website. After you choose your state, the application can then be filled out. The second way, and probably the easiest, is renewing your driver's license. You must renew your license every 4 years. When you renew it, the clerk will ask you if you want to be a donor. You can also get an organ donor card off the government's website, which will then indicate that you are an organ donor. If you don't wish to print off the card, you can order the card to be mailed to your home. The final step in being a donor is to inform a family member. When choosing the family member who is going to carry out your wishes of organ donation, make sure it is a family member you can trust. To bring this to a conclusion, everyone should be a donor. Organ donation saves many lives that would otherwise die. There are no drawbacks in being a donor. Organ donation only brings good things to this world, so don't be selfish and donate your organs.